Can you see me
Not yet.
now?
Now you're visible.
Okay. Well, your username was Barsha, something kind of like that. So I thought, who is that? Then I saw you. Oh, it's Naseem.
Yeah, Basa is pretty confusing.
Yeah. So it's been a long time that we are talking again, right?
Yeah, it's been a
So
long
how
time
are you?
actually. Yeah, I'm doing good like always.
Okay. And how is your family?
Yeah, they all are good. My brother, my father, they all are good.
Okay. So how is life going? Like you are doing conversations on Clapingo, I think.
No, I'm not doing conversation on clapping. I used to do it before, but now I'm doing conversation on English study most of the time, and with that, sometime I also do conversation on Cambly.
Okay, on Candy. That's nice. Okay, so have you got the session document?
Yeah, I have got it. It was regarding television or book.
Yeah, books versus television. So you want to
Yeah.
talk related to this topic or you have something else in your mind?
No, we can go with this topic actually. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So tell me, Naseem, whenever you hear this word books versus television, which one do you prefer the most and why?
Yeah, I always prefer book over television. Like
Mm-hmm.
like uh, we can acquire a lot of knowledge from book actually. Like most of the books we can acquire knowledge from them. But talking about television, it's full of entertainment actually. Yeah, we can also get entertainment from there, but it's barely happen that someone use television for getting knowledge. What I mean, the purpose behind watching television is just for the entertainment purpose. So yeah, book has its own advantage actually. Like we can grab idea if we want to deal with something actually, because book is constructed, book is made by the great writers after they think a lot. Okay, like after thinking a lot they make a book, and then we grab that
Yeah.
knowledge easily actually. So yeah, I always prefer book over the television.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so which one is your favorite book?
My favorite book. Talking about English book, my favorite novel was the novel of Helen Keller, the story of my life, Helen Keller. And at the same time, talking about mathematics, there is no any favorite book. I like all mathematics book actually. But yeah, in terms of English, I like to read novels.
Okay. So which genre is your favorite?
Sorry.
Which genre is your favorite? Which type of books do you like?
Yeah. I like to read a motivational book that gives me a kind of lesson that how should I deal with my student life. So I like this kind of books a lot actually. Like I can name one of the book here, the Six Secret Toppers. Yeah, students never speak to anyone actually. So I'm having this book right now, and sometime I go through this book. Not always, but sometime I go through this novel. It's a novel actually.
Okay,
So
it's
yeah,
a
I like
motivational
the
book,
book.
right?
Yeah,
It's a motivation. So what kind of motivation things are there in that book? Can you tell me something about it?
yeah. Indian education has been compared with the Indian railway system. Actually, I would not like to go in the deep actually,
Mhm.
but the Indian education system has been compared with the Indian railway system, and at the same time, we come to know about that in India we basically focus more onto the bookish language. We don't focus on practical
Mhm.
knowledge actually.
Yeah.
So in I mean the books comes to tell us that how we can be a topper or how we can understand a concept more clearly actually. So that's why in my leisure time I prefer to read that book. It gives me a lot of lesson actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's all about that about the education system in India. Like people are only running, people are only studying, and people are only going through books to get
Yeah.
marks, not
And
for
actually,
knowledge.
yeah, and actually, this novel start with the story of writer. Like he used to be an average student, but later on he turned into a topper student. Actually, so the writer of the novel tells his own experience that how did he become a topper. But like earlier, he used to be an average student, but later on he became a topper. Actually, so he share his own experience, own story in that book.
Okay, well, that's amazing actually. I want to, if, what is the name of the book? Can you repeat?
Six secret restaurant never. Six secret restaurant never tell.
Okay, okay, all right. So, coming to the next question. So, how do books benefit you in your daily lifestyle? What do you think?
Yeah, actually, it benefits me in a lot of ways. Actually, like sometimes when I want to have consistency over a study and I want to increase my focus over study, I prefer to go through the book actually, because what happens when you read books, you give a lot of time, and
Mm-hmm.
like you get a kind of addiction of sitting with a single book for a long time. So it gives me a kind of lesson to be like to be consistent at something actually, and to increase the focus. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my teacher told me that if you want to increase your focus and if you
Mm-hmm.
want to get addiction of studying more and more, then first you should try to study the book actually, and you should try to read a single book for a long time. So yeah, I get a lesson to study more and more by reading the books actually.
Yeah,
It increases your interest.
because nowadays people, if they study, even with me also it happens, whenever I go with a novel I feel sleepy and sleep automatic comes, so it's like that. So that's the reason I have never read any novel in my life. I prefer to read a picture storybook, though I know it's weird, but I don't know why it gives me pleasure to see those kind of pictures and all. And if I go through novel, then I would feel sleepy, I would lose the interest.
Yeah, like one of my teacher told me that if you don't study, but if you want to start your study, so first you should try to read the book actually for a long time. If you
Yeah,
are able to, if you are able to sit with a book for a long time, that means you can easily start doing study. So first you should try to get this habit of reading books. Doesn't
exactly.
matter, doesn't matter how less or more you understand, but you should have habit of reading.
Yeah. So, do you read in your mind or do you read loudly?
Well, it depends upon the situation. Actually, when I am starting with my brother, I definitely cannot disturb him. So at that time, I prefer to read like silently, without without whispering. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just reading in the mind actually. But at the same time, when I am alone and there is no one in my surrounding, like beside me, then at that time I prefer to read loudly, because it has been found that when you produce your sound, your ear again catches your
Yeah.
sound, and it helps to memorize actually. So yeah, reading with the noise, reading by producing sound is more preferable. But when you don't have choice, you should go with the silence actually.
Exactly. Whenever I read book in my mind, I just forget what did I study. Then again, I go back to that page. But if I read loudly, then I can memorize the things more easily.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does happen. I have noticed it myself.
Yeah, it also improves your pronunciation as well. Like using the like comma, full stop. Like while giving speech, many people are like that, like they are talking without any comma. They use comma and full stop while writing. But well,
Yeah,
comma and full stop is also needed while speaking. They don't understand because they don't read books often.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like it has also been found that when you read a book loudly, it makes your English more clear. Yeah,
Yeah.
suppose it's not possible for me to talk to everyone every time actually, because I also have to focus on study
Yeah.
books actually. So at that time, what I do, I just read the books and just little loudly. This way I'm also improving my English and just preparing for the exam and just covering the syllabus. So
Yeah.
I mean, ek tir se do nisana, like that actually.
Yeah, and many I have seen many people they're good in English. They speak English very good without any grammatical mistake. But while speaking, they're like without any understanding. I can't understand what are the words they are saying. So reading would
Yeah,
help you pronounce everything with a space. Like suppose I'm speaking, it's comma little bit pauses are there. So it is very much needed to look your speech way more attractive.
yeah. Actually, even I used to do like you said actually before. When I wasn't focusing more on this language, I used to do something similar that you mentioned. But still I have that sort of problem, not too much, but I have little bit of that problem actually. And I'm also working in that area, and for that I'm reading book more and more. Like I'm yeah I mean like I'm also reading newspaper actually. Newspaper
Newspaper
like
helps a lot. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so moving on to the third question, which is, does television play any important role in teaching good things in any way? What do you think?
Exactly, it does play good role actually. Good role. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it does play good role in teaching as well. Like we have a lot of channels, like Discovery Channel, Fox Life
Yeah.
Channel, and History Channel. Like if we keep on watching these channels, we will get a lot of knowledge, and that relates to the knowledge we get in the book actually. And it
Mm-hmm.
also teaches us about the natural life, the life in the sea. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we can acquire a lot of knowledge from the television if we prefer good channel. But at the same time, if you watch Pavitra Rishta, Ye Rishta Kya Kehlata Hai, so finally you will get nothing other than drama actually.
Everything you have to use it in a wise way, like for example you are using this internet connection in a wise way, like for improving your English more and more. But some people are like using internet in a bad way. So it's good, goes for the television also. Like if you just go and watch everyday Bollywood music. But do you know, when I was a kid, then I used to watch Discovery Channel. But nowadays teenagers are not like that. Even kids also, they prefer to watch Pavitra Rishta, Fear Files. Those things are good for entertainment purpose, but all the time it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I always prefer to watch Discovery Channel. Like there I come to know about how a person can survive in critical to critical situation. You will find a lot of shows over there in those channel like Discovery, that a person with nothing can survive and how he or she can survive actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you should always go with those kind of channels. And now again we have news channels as well.
Yeah.
So well, I don't prefer to watch news actually, but that can also be one of the sources to have knowledge actually.
Yeah, and there was used to happen Man versus Wild. It used to be so weird.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I was trying to speak about men versus wild actually. Like we can get a lot of knowledge from that. So
We can get, but it's too weird because sometimes like that man is eating snake. Then it is
yeah,
good like for people, if you're discovering anything, if you're going for any adventure in forest, if you want to stay there, those kind of things are good. But seeing them, it feels irritating, right?
yeah, it does feel irritating actually, but it is about the situation when you have nothing, when you don't have
Yes.
any option. Definitely you would like to eat whatever you have. You can even eat the grass actually because you want to be alive. So we can get that kind of knowledge because in that so man versus wild, even he is human beings, and to survive he is eating anything like insect, whatever he gets, he is eating everything. So we can get that sort of knowledge that when we don't have option, we can go with that actually. I know it feels so awkward to even like imagining those things what he was eating. It really feels awkward, but again when we don't have option we can go with that actually.
Exactly. Whoever is planning to go for any kind of adventure, then for those people it's good. But for us, it's not so good. It's only good for an entertainment purpose.
Yeah, like I have come to know about a lot of stories, like real stories, where a human being at another human being just to survive. Yeah, like suppose you are residing, you are in a place where you are alone and you have a dead body, okay, and you have nothing to eat. So at that time to survive, you have to eat that body actually. So yeah, Exactly. I have seen a lot of those kind of movies actually. So I mean, there's nothing bad actually.
It's so weird. Like for staying alive, you're eating a human, though you are a human. Like eating us insect, eating an insect and eating any kind of animal, it's still considerable. But you are a human and you're eating another human, so it's very much
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. It's really weird actually. But that is the lesson we are getting actually. That is the lesson we are getting. Like the human wasn't alive actually. He was died actually, and the another human was alive, and he had nothing to eat. So I mean, rather than he prefer to die, he should try to have something that can keep him alive. So he had no option other than eating that dead body. Dead body.
Well, if you
Yeah.
get any kind of situation like this, then what would you do?
Well, I would not ever prefer, like, I would not ever expect to get this situation actually, where I have to eat another human. Like, no, no, no. I mean, I will not ever get this situation, and even if I get, I will just leave it all the time. Actually, what will happen?
Yeah, I asked you a difficult question. It's very difficult to answer because you don't know at that point of time what you are thinking, what is your like condition, right? So now we can't say. Now maybe we would say we would prefer to die, but at that moment maybe we would eat the human also.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, uh, I really cannot say anything right now. I mean, it's really hard to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So, next question is: reading makes you happier, or does watching visuals and graphics help you? What do you think?
Well, actually, the watching graphics and videos actually gives us more pleasure. That is the true actually. So definitely, it gives us most pleasure compared to the reading books.
Yeah, and why is it so? Why do you think that reading, like watching movies and watching visuals, gives you more pleasure? Why do you think so?
Yeah. So actually, when we have television, when we can watch visuals, actually like graphics, at that time we can imagine the things. We can watch the things with the imagination. But at the same time, when we are going through a book, so first it depends upon how a writer has mentioned the things actually. Like I talk about some writers like Chetan Bhagat. If you read their novels, you can
Mhm.
imagine the things while reading actually.
Mhm.
So at that time, you can have something similar feeling that you will have the feeling while watching videos actually.
Mhm.
But and at the same time, you can have same kind of thinking for William Shakespeare actually. But
Mhm.
it doesn't happen in most of the cases. Like the writer does not glorify the things clearly, so it really becomes hard to imagine the things that you are
Yeah.
reading. And that is the reason while watching videos we have more pleasure compared to reading the books. It does happen actually.
Yeah, because when I was studying my 12th, like about history, I didn't used to prefer to study the textbook. I used to prefer, suppose some topic roll attack, for example, I used to search on Google, search on YouTube or on Google. I used to watch some videos. Then I used to get more knowledge, and then I can write way more better than that.
And exactly, you mentioned about an act actually, about an act. Okay,
Yeah, roll
I'm not.
attack.
Yeah, I'm not from art background, but I read this act in 10th standard, and still I have like bit of this act. I'm remembering right now actually. Like
Yeah.
it was regarding Britishers made a law where Indian can be arrested without
Mhm.
giving any arguments that you are being arrested. Just no
Mhm.
clarification for that. Is it like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it is like
Yeah.
that.
So still I remember this act because I watched a video over this
Yeah, watching
act.
makes you, it can happen. Like if you read, then it becomes monotonous, it becomes boring. And when you're studying when you're reading any novel, also it feels like you're as if you're reading any textbook. So watching movie, watching any kind of video helps you to acquire and more knowledge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I mean, that is the reason when we watch a movie, we remember it for a long time. You might have observed that. Even if I name you a single movie name, you can narrate all the story. You can narrate every incident, and at the same time, if I will talk about any serial, you can mention about each and every episode. Like this happened, that happened. He got divorced and he got passion. So
Yeah.
because there There is a music, there's a visual graphics, so things become so easy to remember actually.
Yeah, exactly. And also, what I was about to say, I forgot actually. I forgot an interesting thing I was about to say. I forgot that
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Anyway, so coming to the next question, what are the advantages and disadvantages of books and television? What do you think?
Well, talking about television, we can have a lot of disadvantages. First, we have a lot of shows like Savdhan India, Crime Alert. So, what happened by watching those shows? A lot of people get a lot of, like ideas to commit crime. Actually, it
Mhm.
does happen. Like a lot of time, the police have found that someone has committed crime just by getting idea from the movie. Actually, so that is the first disadvantage we have. And
Yeah.
now next thing, watching serials, it's really bothering, it's really irritating actually. Like once I got addicted to this when I was child, I was watching Yahan Main Ghar Ghar Kheli and Khela like that actually. So uh, that was a bad addiction I got actually. And like you get nothing from the serial. That is true actually. You will get nothing from serial. I mean,
Mhm.
from movie you can get some lesson, you can get something actually. But talking about serials, these are really dumb. You cannot get anything.
Yes.
And yeah, like adult movies actually. A lot of time when you're watching movies with your siblings, like with your family, you get such advertisement that you don't ever expect to see with your family. Actually, it does happen. And with that, a lot of scenes are there that has been glorified, and you are watching that. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm listening.
Yeah, so like you don't want to watch that, so but again you have to watch it because someone else is
Yes.
having the remote in his hand and you don't have any option. So yeah, it does happen actually. Sometimes you have to go with the content that isn't suited for you.